Hey everybody, it's Chromatic and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today I'll be playing another Chromatic Cube draft. We have a few more days of these, and then we have the Baldur's Gate Early Access event that will be on July 5th, so I'm very excited for that. But for now, let's finish off these Chromatic Cube drafts with another sweet deck, shall we? So we've got a lot of super sweet cards in here. Liliana's pretty great, drawing a card whenever one of your creatures dies, spitting out 2/2 zombies, making each player sacrifice 2 creatures can be a pretty big effect. Nissa's also pretty powerful, but she's pretty slow. She does make a 5/5 to protect herself. Finale of Devastation's great if you can get one of the massive mana producers. Rafine's powerful but hard to cast. Salumgar's command is very flexible. Thief of Sanity is very annoying, and you can cast your opponent's deck against them, which is pretty good. Don't know what I want to pick one here. I think I'm going to roll with Liliana today.
And make new comrades.
Just a big, powerful planeswalker. Very cool one. Very iconic one from War of the Spark there as well. What do we have in our pack 2? We've got a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. The new hotness, incredible rare from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. It's going to give you a 2/2. It's going to let you discard up to 2 cards to draw that many cards, and it's going to give you another 2/2. The second 2/2 has a really good ability being able to copy other creatures you control by discarding a card. Oh, I know, you don't even have to discard a card. Oh, I'm getting that mixed up with Jaxus. Yeah, this one's insane. This one's insane. It's kind of like a 3-mana red planeswalker in the fact that it gives you a little bit of incremental value each turn like planeswalkers do. It's like, I'm going to get a 2/2, then I'm going to rummage a couple cards, then I'm going to get another 2/2, and the other 2/2 has a ridiculous effect. Yeah, Fable of the Mirror Breaker is insane. Lotus Cobra's pretty fun and pretty powerful in this cube if you can get some of the fetch lands, like, God, I forgot what it's called. The Fabled Passage, I believe. Yeah, Fable of the Mirror Breaker is just nuts. Oh. It has glitched. It says it's a Canyon Slough. I don't remember how to fix the glitch and make it look correct. But that's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, even though it says it isn't. Because as you can see, the Canyon Slough is in this pack. Anyways, pick 3. Let's try to not let Arena distract us with the weirdness here. The pack's pretty weak. I mean, Guy's Flame Reservoir sucks. Unfortunately. Late to Dinner, I don't think I've ever seen that pop off. Pool of Vigorous Growth is really fun, but just too slow and dirtily. Atali is very similar, very fun, but too slow and dirtily for the cube. I've gotten beaten up by some Zerials in the past. She's been alright. Create some Devils, maybe give your whole field +1/+0 haste. Can be pretty brutal. Callous Blood Mage is a nice little flexible card. None of the modes of this card are super powerful, but having all of the modes together is nice. Being able to exile a graveyard if your opponent's trying to flashback stuff, or just draw a card if you need, or just make a pest token to block with if you need. I think I like Callous Blood Mage here. Do need to remember that we have a Kiki-Jiki in the deck, so we're kind of red and black right now. Pick 4. A lot of white cards here. Regal Caracol has a huge end of the battlefield effect, and Captain Eberhard is just real aggressive. Krakow with Power is a pretty big win condition for the red decks, and we could be heading in the red-black direction with our Kiki-Jiki. Nothing much in black here, just Unburial Rites, but there's not a lot of self-mill in this cube or anything to really go with a Reanimator deck or a Reanimator strategy. Territorial Kavu is kind of cool, but I've never used it before. Discard a card, draw a card, and exile cards from grave. It's just like a 2-mana 2/2. Deafening Clarion's nice little wrath effect. Not super into anything here. Everything's just fine. I guess I'll just take Crackle with Power since we already have 1 red card with our Kiki-Jiki. Pick 5, Rankle is pretty phenomenal. 4-mana 3/3 flying haste, already a pretty good deal, and you're getting to use several different triggers, whichever ones you want, making each player discard a card or draw a card or sacrifice a creature. So that is pretty great. Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy Rankle here. We have solid red cards like Electrostatic Blast for cheap removal or Shadow Skull Smashing for just replaces a land as a big removal spell. Even Drakazeth is solid, it's just a lot of mana. But yeah, Rankle just seems great. Really, really efficient at 4 mana to do all that stuff. Now we have Midnight Reaper. Sap Vitality, deal 3 to a creature, planeswalker, make a creature in hand get +3/+0 till end of turn. Wow, that's actually kind of nuts. As turn 2 removal, instead of playing like a Fire Prophecy or some red burn spell, playing a Sap Vitality and then all of a sudden our Rankle in hand is a 6/3 flying haste. Sap Vitality seems good. It's very heavy into black, but we could try to be the mono black drafter today. There is a mono black deck you can get if the stars align. Grey Merchant of Asphodel is in this cube. A Midnight Reaper or Sap Vitality though, because Midnight Reaper is also just good. Even when Midnight Reaper itself dies, you get to draw a card, so it's like a no-risk card draw engine. You're always drawing at least one off it. I think I'm gonna go actually Midnight Reaper over the Sap Vitality, but I do think I've sort of talked myself into maybe trying to do the mono black deck this time around, especially because we are still seeing really solid black cards getting passed to us pick 7 here, like Vraska's Contempt, so it is a possibility. So I'm just going to scoop up that Vraska's Contempt. Pretty easy choice for me there. Yeah, I guess we're just like really heavy into black, and we'll take some red cards as an alternate secondary if we really need to. We could take Jaxus. Jaxus is basically another Kiki-Jiki, but this one we have to discard cards to use the Kiki-Jiki effect of duplicating a creature, giving it haste till end of turn. I think I would rather just have the Temple. Discarding cards is a pretty hefty cost there for Jaxus. Freet Flame Painter. I've said this a lot if you've seen my previous drafts, but this is a card that never works how you want it to. There's a lot of things that can very easily go wrong for this card. So 1/4 body for 4 mana, it's really easy to block that. So you have to get the board completely clear before you get to live in that magical Christmas land where you are getting the double strike trigger and casting 2 spells from grave. It's obviously incredible when that happens, but it's really bad when that doesn't because it's not attacking or blocking super well. So I'm just going to take Yawgmoth's Vile Offering, and now we get to take a Crypt Breaker here. Should be fine for the mono black deck. It's not particularly exciting, and there's not like a ton of zombies in this cube, so I wouldn't run it in a lot of decks, but if we're trying to go mono black, it should be good. That being said, we could also just be open to hopping into white, because I do think the Restoration of Eiganjo is kind of a ridiculously good deal, very similar to the Kiki-Jiki saga. We're just getting a lot of value for only 3 mana. I'm actually going to take Restoration of Eiganjo there over the little zombie dork. And now I guess we just take Zerial.
When demons die, they cry out.
Alright, well that's a lot of white cards wheeling. These were like the white cards in this pack the first time around, and they're still in here. So Regal Caracol, Captain Eberhart, Giant Killer, probably the worst of the 3. I think I'm going to go with the Caracol. I like this card a lot. It's just a big cat. Who doesn't like kitties? And Mikaeus is great with that Regal Caracol. Put a bunch of counters on the stuff. But the red cards are wheeling too. Red and white is. I think I'd rather be pushing into white-black, though, because the white wheels have surprised me more than the red ones. And we do wheel the Sap Vitality, so that is looking pretty good. It's possible we get to go red, black, and white here, but probably not, because a lot of the most powerful black cards in this cube, as I was saying before, are going to be very hefty into black, like Cavalier of Night, where they have very black restrictive color symbols, and the reason is because there are some devotion to black cards like Erebos and Grey Merchant of Asphodel. So I'm probably going to take Cavalier of Night here. I like this card a solid bit. 5 mana, 4/5 lifelink, and when it enters the battlefield, you can sack a creature to destroy an opposing creature, and when it dies, you can return a creature with mana value 3 or less from your grave to the battlefield. Just a lot of nice value on this card in multiple ways. What would we like to wheel out of this pack? Well, that's the only black card, so I guess Guardian of Angel if we're still trying to go black-white, or Sisters of the Undead, Olivia Crimson Bride. Pretty good if we go red-black. Cut to Ribbons is very good if we go red-black. Just very efficient. 2 mana for 4 damage to a creature. And then you get the win condition in your graveyard. The Ribbons, just X mana. Each opponent loses X life. It's pretty big. Finale of Eternity is a powerful card, but it's a very slow one. You can blow up 3 creatures with it, but you have to spend 2 mana more than whatever their toughness is. So if you're trying to kill your opponent's 6 mana 6/6, you're going to have to wait till turn 8 minimum. That's if you drew a land every turn in the game. You're going to have to wait till you have 8 mana, so that takes a long time to kill big things. But it's still a pretty good card, and we are trying to take all the black cards we can for the shot at having a super good mono black deck if we get a Massacre Worm or Grey Merchant or any of that kind of stuff. we'll be really happy. That being said, we are in a great position to be black-red or black-white here. Now we have Despark to exile a large mana permanent from our opponents in black-white, or Kolaghan's Command, a very, very flexible piece of interaction for the black-red deck, blowing up artifacts, or 2 toughness creatures, or making them discard cards. We're definitely black, and then it's like, are we black-red, are we black-white? That's always going to be the question. I think I like our black-white a little bit better. I do really like Restoration of Iganjo, Regal Carrier Call, Mikaeus. In red, I really like the Kiki Jiki, but like Crackle with Power is not great in this archetype, and Zerial's just like, I don't know, I haven't really played with Zerial. I think I'm a little more excited on the black-white front, so I'm going to go for the black-white card here, Despark. If Kolaghan's Command wheels, then we're living in the dream world here. So yeah, again, I'm just going to keep doing how I've been doing, taking the best black card in each pack, and then if there's not a good one, take the best red or white card, and then we'll figure things out in the deck building. We've got Agonizing Remorse or Eldest Reborn. I don't actually know which is better. In Cube, it's probably the Eldest Reborn, because there's gonna be big, powerful stuff in graveyards. It is a pretty slow card, but it is a 3-for-1. You make them sack something, you make them discard a card, and then you get something onto your board. It's a pretty slow card, definitely for slower, more controlling decks, but a lot of our black cards are lending themselves well to that sort of strategy. Solid amount of removal, some life gain going on. I think Eldest Reborn will work well in here. Now we have Liliana's like okay. So is there like a really good white or red card? Intrepid Adversary is pretty good. There's also Godpharaoh's Gift, which is kind of solid for anything. It's very slow, but as soon as you play it, you're getting a 4/4 copy of something in your grave. And it has haste. So it's slow in that you're not going to cast it till very late in the game, but once you cast it, it does immediately impact the game. But yeah, Liliana, I don't know, Liliana's pretty slow for a Planeswalker as well. She can recur, reanimate any creature from your grave, she can make some zombies and mill yourself. She's definitely a weaker Liliana than the one we already have. I think it's Godpharaoh's Gift or Adversary here, probably. I'm going to go, well, nah, I mean, Liliana seems fine. I'll take the Liliana. And we are in the Magical Christmas Land Dream Draft Pod here, where we get past the Massacre Worm, pick 6. I think this is probably like the best black card in the cube, at least in my opinion, just because of how ridiculous it's been for me. So far, it was really, really good in our Gigantha deck. No, not Gigantha. I forget the name of it. The card that reanimates even cost creatures. That was obviously insane, but yeah, Massacre Room's just busted. Just busted. This cube ends in a lot of pretty wide board states, so being able to have your opponent lose 2 life every time you kill one of their creatures is massive, especially when you kill a bunch of them when it enters the battlefield. This pack is not very good for us. Catharic Mana would be fine for black-white, but Uribrask is probably a little better if we go black-red, so we'll take that one. Now we have Banishing Light for black-white, or Sanctuary Warden for black-white, but I think we have more than enough just big game-ending black cards with Liliana, Massacre Worm, Cavalier of Night. Yeah, I think I'm just looking for more interaction. I guess I could have taken the red-white pathway, and it's possible we go black, just splashing red and white. That'd be a really difficult mana base, though, because again, with the heavy focus on black that we have here, we have triple black on Massacre Worm, triple black on Cavalier of Night. Really don't want to do too much off-color stuff. Plarg, that's actually kind of hilarious, taking Plarg here, because I don't think I'm going to play Cultivator's Caravan for mana fixing, but it's kind of hilarious to take Plarg. The reason is because it's a very mediocre red card or a very mediocre white card. So if we go black-red, then bam, there's some red card to put in the deck, and if we go black-white, bam, there's some white card to put in the deck. Now, Cut to Ribbons is a very good card for a deck that is red and black, so I'm happy to wheel that. Scoop that up. I guess we take a red-white dual land here, but I'm really not trying to play both red and white. Then we take Electro Dominance because the Lithoform engine is just really slow. It's just bad. Bunch of off-color stuff. Throw something in the sideboard. All right, pack 3. If we open a Grey Merchant in pack 3, I'm just going to fall in love with it immediately. We're going to state our vows live on air. All right. We've got Nicol Bolas. No. Alright, well, we're not playing Nicol Bolas. We have Tenacious Underdog, Junji the Midnight Sky, or the Immortal Sun. Except that we have multiple Lilianas, we have multiple Planeswalkers, so really the Immortal Sun's a big nombo with Planeswalkers in your deck. How hard is it going to be to live the mono black dream? It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. It's probably not happening. We have a lot of 5-drops here. We'll probably take Tenacious Underdog. We don't have any 2-mana creatures yet. Genji's good, but like so much other stuff to do at 5 already. I guess I take Underdog. Genji probably doesn't wheel, so we just take whatever red or white card wheels. This is a Kiki Jiki, not a land, so that can get out of here too. Okay, what do we have now? Another Planeswalker, Lolth, the Spider Queen. Or we have Jadar or Dreadhorde Evasion. These are 2 good 2-mana, like, creature-producing cards. They both produce token fodder, where we can just sacrifice our 1/1 zombie army over and over, or we can sacrifice our 2/2 Decayed zombie over and over. So they work well with, like, Rankle here, I guess. I think I'd prefer Jadar, because getting more legendary creatures is going to make Yawgmoth's Vile Offering much more consistent. Yeah, I'm going to take Jadar here. Maybe we can wheel Dreadhorde Invasion or Lolth. It's possible. There's a Field of the Dead in here. Don't get to live that 5-color dream. I don't know if I'm ever going to draft 5-color again in this cube, because I think we only have one more day of the cube drafts after this. At least for me, because I'll be doing the early access event for the Baldur's Gate set, thanks to Wizards of the Coast for that early access. Pretty sure I have to legally mention that every time. So Soul Servitude, fine piece of interaction. I'll scoop that up here. Pretty far from being mono black. I don't think it's happening, but it would still be cool, so I'm still going to try. Now a Brain Maggot here, another cheap card. It's also pretty annoying. If you're lucky here, you get to play this and get rid of your opponent's like good turn 3 or 4 play, and then they have to wait until they can kill your 1/1 to do what they wanted to do. I think it's definitely better than Hitotsugu here. Oh, we might not open a Grey Merchant, unfortunately, which would be like the best card for our decks. That is really unfortunate. Wow, this pack is so good for us. I want Phyrexian Arena, I want Murderous Rider. This is a removal spell and a lifelink creature all in one, and I want the 3 Weird Sisters. Very flexible front half of that card, and then they flip into the really good lifelinker. I don't know what card's best. They're all phenomenal, especially the 3 Weird Sisters and Murderous Rider. These are both incredible cards. That would be sick in our deck. I think I just want more straight interaction like Murderous Rider first, so I'm going to take the Murderous Rider there. Pick 6 now. We get a Crux of Fate for a Wrath effect. If our opponent's playing dragons, that's going to be sad for us. Or we could take Sorin the Mirthless, Count Dracula. Oh, I think we're going to get there. We're going to get to play mono black here, but we're getting some really hard decisions here, where I don't think either of these are going to wheel, and I think they're both really good. I guess I'll take Sorin, fills the curve real well.
For the sake of all
and knowing my luck, I'd take that Wrath effect, and then I'd play against like nothing but dragons. There are a lot of strong dragons in this cube, to be fair. There's like Goldspan Dragon and Terror of the Peaks are both pretty nuts. Alright, we did not open up a Grey Merchant of Asphodel unless somebody else drafted it, unfortunately, but we are going to make it to 23 black cards here and get to play the mono black deck, which should be pretty fun even without Grey Merchant. It is really sad we didn't get Grey Merchant of Asphodel or Erebos, because both of those would be fine for mono black, because Erebos is it's not a very good card unless you always have the devotion to where it turns into that 5/6 indestructible body, and in our deck we would always have that devotion. Ooh, Dreadhorde Invasion or Lolth Spider Queen. Actually pretty nice. We've got a lot of 2-drops now. Brain Maggot, Jadar, Kitesail, Freebooter, Tenacious Underdog. Don't really need the Dreadhorde Invasion. We don't have a lot of ways to sacrifice things for value, so I'm just slamming another Planeswalker. Mono black Planeswalkers, and our 17th land here gets to also have a channel effect if we flood out, so that's really nice. Getting that Takanuma there. Oh, and we wheeled the 3 Weird Sisters and Phyrexian Arena? I feel like I have enough incremental value just from having Planeswalkers in the deck that fill a similar role to Phyrexian Arena, where they snowball effect into us winning the game due to card advantage. So I would rather take the 3 Weird Sisters there. I think if we had like 0 Planeswalkers and 0 card draw, I would probably be tempted to go for Phyrexian Arena, but we have 3 planeswalkers. We've got sagas like Eldest Reborn. We have a lot of 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s. I don't think we need straight card draw in this deck. This deck is going to be spicy. I get to cut this this Circuit Mender here, and then it's a 17 land deck. Yep, cut a Circuit Mender, and we've got a deck. Literally, there you go. That's the deck building for you. All right, well, here we are with the completed deck. We cut a single Circuit Mender, and now we've got our 40 card deck. This is a really sweet mono black deck. If we had a Gray Merchant of Asphodel, this would literally just be the dream mono black deck. Without it, we don't have a massive reason to be in mono black other than it's going to make our mana incredibly consistent, so we know that we can always turn 5 our Cavalier of Knights. We can always play Massacre Worms when we've got 6 lands. We don't need to be worried about stumbling on playing any tapped lands in our deck. We don't need to be setting up any mana, so our deck's just going to be really consistent mana-wise as compared to a lot of the other decks in the Chromatic Cube. And the general power level in this deck still stays pretty high thanks to black just being nice and open in our draft pod. We've got a lot of interaction. We've got Soul Servitude, Vraska's Contempt, Sap Vitality, Finale of Eternity, Murderous Riders, Swift End removal spell as well. We have Kite Sail, Freebooter, and Brain Maggot pulling cards out of our opponent's hand. It's a ton of interaction already right there. We also have End of the Battlefield triggers on like Massacre Worm to try to be a one-sided wrath, combat triggers from Rankle trying to make our opponent sack creatures, beginning of combat triggers to make our opponent sack a creature with 3 Weird Sisters as well. We've got yeah, a ton of interaction here. Just looks like a pretty sweet mono black kind of mid-range deck here where we've got a solid curve of creatures along with a ton of ways to keep our opponent's game plan under control. So very excited. Very excited for this deck. We also have 4 Planeswalkers as well to take over the game. Sorin the Mirthless, Liliana Death's Majesty, Lilith Spider Queen, and Liliana Dreadhorde General. This should be some explosive stuff. So let's see how it does as we head into round 1. Alright, here we are, game 1. Pretty good mana as we can expect. Just need to draw 1 land and then we are off to the races here, and we're on the play. I like it. We even have the Brain Maggot to see exactly what's going on with our opponent's deck. So red-green duel first. Wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of colors when we use this Brain Maggot. Yeah, red-green-black looks like a Jund deck here. They have 3 other lands in their hands, so Dryad of the Elysian Grove is going to let them play additional lands here and really speed up the hand. So we'll get rid of that there and keep them nice and slow for us. Just 1 land a turn. They're not going to play anything till turn 4, so we have some time to set up our Count Dracula or something of our own. We know on turn 4 they're going to play Polukranos probably, so they can fight our Brain Maggot and get that out of the way. Domri they drew into, though.
They can only punish you if they catch you.
They'll make Domri 4 loyalty here. So next turn they get to play any creature in their hand and make Domri fight off our Brain Maggot to get their card back. Unless we exile Domri here. I don't think that's worth it. It's okay. They can kill our 1/1 and get their 2/4. Because it's already like past the point of serving its purpose. Because they're only going to have 1 land in hand by the time they play this now. So I kind of like 3 Weird Sisters over Sorin. Because we get to draw the card, lose the life here, and then if they play a creature that's really good to kill, we can make them sack a creature next turn. I guess they could Polukranos and then fight the sisters using Domri's ability here. That would be the worst line for us. Yeah, if they just play Toski here though, then I think we're all good. And they are going to fight the Brain Maggot. So let's see if they drew another land here, so they get to play 2 this turn. Oh wait, no, what am I talking about? They still have to spend 3 mana to cast that, so not playing extra land yet. 5th mana, we can play Junji the Midnight Sky. I don't have any expendable creatures to play to make them sacrifice Toski here. So I don't think I will. I think I'll play the Midnight Sky. And then I will just transform Henrika Domnothi so she can just kill Domri.
I'll be back after I've licked my wounds. You'll see.
Send in Toski, I will block so that they don't draw a card. Key to the archive is the play. Digging for some outs here, digging for some interaction from the archive. There is a lot. They could get a Day of Judgment. They could get Doomblade. Doomblade doesn't work against us. All we have are black creatures. Get Lightning Bolt, Day of Judgment, D-Spark. I guess Lightning Bolt and Lightning Helix aren't big enough. So there's actually not a lot of interaction that works well for them. So they're at 18. We're about to hit for 8. Then tempted to just exile Toski, but I don't think I should. Probably play Lolth and make some spiders here, so that we have multiple blockers, even if they burn one away. I like that better than Count Dracula. Count Dracula, we could get 1, 2, 3 flying lifelink, which would be good, but not as good as multiple spiders, I think.
A gift in exchange for loyalty.
Plus, now if they blow up our Fiends of Darkest Night or our Genji, we do get to put loyalty counters on Lolth. They are going to blow up Fiends of Darkest Night here, maybe? Blow up something here. They have 4 mana up thanks to the Key to the Archives. So I expect something is not long for this world. Pelucranos is going to fight the Genji. What's my graveyard look like? Brain Maggot? We can get Brain Maggot back. What does their graveyard look like? Domri, no creatures. So we can get a Brain Maggot back, or we can make them lose 2 life and discard 2 cards. Discard 2, lose 2 seems a lot better here. They're down to 8 now. They can't block because of Menace, so they're taking 5. 3, 4, 5. Any way to get extra damage in here? No. I could buff twice to hit for 7. Okay, so I can't lethal. Let's just go wide here, I think. We'll let Lolth die. So that without a Wrath effect, we're just guaranteed the kill next turn. With all this.
Cannot be denied.
Oh, that Count Dracula artwork is so cool on the board without any text on it. So cool. For those who don't know, these are from... if you drafted Innistrad double feature, you would get a Dracula card style for each time you drafted that set. And since pretty much all I do is draft, I have most of the Dracula styles like this as well. Alright, get a land, drop a... Oh, no. Get a land and then cultivate another land from Beanstalk Giant. And they're going to scoop them up. Our board state's pretty insane. A lot of flyers and menace, pretty wide, and they're at 3 life, so that is going to be game 1-0. Alright, another auto keep. The good part of playing a monocolor deck here. Real easy on the mana base. Alright, opponent is going to start with a Triome. Let's just start with a Tenacious Underdog here and just start slapping pretty hard. Cold Steel Heart turn 2 on black, so red, green, white, black is what we see so far. Can't play Rankle, but we can play Brain Maggot and see what's up in their hand. 3 mana here, so they'll have 4 mana next turn. They play Temple Guard and play Sorin, I guess is the plan. Just make their hand nothing but interaction here with Despark, Vanishing Verse, all that stuff. Yeah, just get rid of Sorin. And the hand is nothing but removal, it looks like. 1 more mana rock. They're going to Vanishing Verse our Brain Maggot to get Sorin back. I guess they can afford to play... Vanishing Verse and Territorial Kavu. Because they have a green-white land, so... They play that, they go red-green, and then white-black. They drew another Triumph. They'd rather just play that, drop their Territorial Kavu, which is going to be nice and big, but we can blow that up pretty efficiently here with Rankle. Just sacrifice our card that can come back from the grave anyway. And I'll draw a card here. We'll both draw a card, but I'm fine with that. Cool, and now we have a 5th swamp, so we don't have to do Takenuma. To hold on to that maybe a little while longer. Pay the life for Temple Guard, and Angrath is what they drew into, which doesn't kill Rankle, but it can kill Brain Maggot. Oh wait, no, Rankle, it will kill Rankle, because they can have Rankle sacrifice itself and it'll kill both our creatures. Well, that is actually an incredible draw. That's obnoxious. That's insane. Well, kill Angrath, draw a card here. I think is where we're at now.
Ah, I'll have you in chains next time.
God, what a... Yeah, that like 360'd the game out of nowhere. 360 no scope. Just MLG compilation us with that Angrath. Off the top. Completely like changes the course of the game. Ooh, Massacre Worm and Oracle Moldiah? Sure. Goodbye, friend. The reverse 360 no scope, the 720. What now? Vanishing Verse the Massacre Worm, and they can still afford a Sorin afterwards if they play a land here. So the top card was a Cloud Blazer. Yeah, they have so much value in their deck. Lots of 2-for-1s. If they don't kill this Massacre Worm, it's gonna be painful. So Despark or Vanishing Verse here. Vanishing Verse is really good against our deck. Everything's monocolored. No, I wish I were 2-colored. They go for Cloud Blazer, hoping to draw into a land to still be able to cast a removal spell. It needs to be a black source. It is a black source. Well, they might have had it in their hand already, but you never know. They might have also just gotten super lucky there. Both are possible. We can sap Vitality to Cloud Blazer and then play a Cavalier of Night. Can also just play a Tenacious Underdog here. That feels better when I know that they have a grip full of removal. It's probably best to be slamming in with this Underdog. I would like to sap Vitality this Cloud Blazer while I know Massacre Worm is still on the board so that I know I get to damage them. Be incredibly surprised if they go for a chump block here. So I'm just attacking, then responding to them trying to use removal. Yeah, so now we respond. Blow up Cloud Blazer. So we do 2 extra damage with Massacre Worm and hit for 3 off Tenacious Underdog. And yeah, that feels pretty good. Is it worth playing the Takenuma to have a 7th land here, or do I want to save it in case I run out of stuff to do? It's close. This might be greedy, but I'm just going to save it for now. But like, I only have one other threat here, right? Like, I have a Cavalier, so I can play one more threat, but then they have the one more removal spell for my one more threat, so I need to have some way to draw another threat.
Consider yourself fortunate,
Okay, so we can Vraska's Contempt Sorin.
I'm busy.
Really hoping to draw like Jadar. Being able to draw a 2-mana legendary creature would be perfect, because then we Vile Offering and the game's just over. They're 4 life. Because if I had played Takenuma, I'd have the mana to blitz Underdog and cast Vraska's Contempt. But I don't have the mana to do that. Yeah, not playing Takenuma actually comes back to bite me a lot. I should have tallied up the mana for that. 8 mana to Contempt plus Underdog as a good play, because then we could have killed their creature and their Planeswalker. Or forced them to use removal on our Blitz card. I think we have to just kill Sorin. And that's just our turn here. It's not wonderful. I wish you could cast legendary sorceries if you had any legendary permanents, that if I just played Takenuma, it'd just be a freebie. They can't get rid of my Takenuma, so I know I can Vile Offering whenever. Still mentally reeling from the Angrath here. Narset of the Ancient Way. Gain 2 life every turn. Yeah, they're gaining 4 life every turn now.
To open the mind, you must first.
Seems good. What are they casting off of this with that blue mana? Nothing. Just gaining some life. No, they're going to pass. They're not going to attack with the lifelinker. Interesting. Wolf seems pretty good. Wolf gets exiled by vanishing first, but we get at least the spiders out of her. And then the spiders mean that Cavalier can do something. So they can exile our 1 loyalty planeswalker, I guess.
You could have such power, but you
Which would be good. I mean, it's probably the right play for them to do.
will be rewarded.
Yep, Lulth is gone, so now we can Cavalier of Night and maybe keep it on the board. So we play it, sacrifice a spider, blow up their flyer, and kind of jam in. And whenever it dies, we can get Brain Maggot back. I guess Brain Maggot's not very good here. I can already just blitz Underdog whenever anyway. Well, show me the spell. There is no spell. Okay, so Cavalier of Night is not going to be blowing anything up because we have no creatures. Okay, I guess I can play Takenuma, blitz the Underdog, sack the Underdog to the Cavalier. So yeah, if they play a big bomb creature, we can still Cavalier to blow something up. Because we can have 9 mana. Blitz into Cavalier is pretty dang spicy. Thief of Sanity. Well, blitz into Cavalier it is, because Thief of Sanity is an issue.
Breathe in, exhale.
Hope that their 1 card in hand is not interaction. It's not interaction, but it's explosive, the Prismatic Bridge. This is going to be a close game. It's all going to depend on how good the Prismatic Bridge works out for them. We blitz this Underdog. We attack Narset. They probably don't block. Maybe we attack their face at this point, actually. That might have been wrong. No, we attack Narset. Narset was about to emblem off. Okay, sack it to the Cavalier to destroy their creature and draw a card. And it's pretty much all up to Prismatic Bridge to carry them to victory here. And Vraska's a start to that. Vraska doesn't blow up our Cavalier, but Vraska is recurring value. Keep sacrificing a land each turn to gain a life and draw a card. And there's, yeah, gain a life, draw a card. They're at 11 now, which is out of reach of Tenacious Underdog blitzing them to death. Sack the Mind Stone to draw another card. They have 3 cards in hand, all 3 of which they drew this turn. Because they drew for the start of their turn, they drew from Vraska, they drew from Mind Stone. We did draw the Jadar for our Yawgmoth's Vile Offering now, so that will be a big play. Apparently they drew a big enough instant or sorcery to kill Cavalier. But then we get to pick up Tenacious Underdog without having to blitz it? No, they didn't. They were just hoping to off of the draw ability on Narset. They've dug pretty far, and it looks like just missed each time. Reclamation Sage? Yeah, that doesn't do anything to Cavalier. This is huge. We can pick up Rankle with haste off Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. I think that's the best card in the grave. I guess we could take Aingrath. But I think it's probably Rankle. So we go Jadar, Vile Offering, pick up a Rankle, destroy Reclamation Sage, and we have lethal because we hit for 11 because of the draw trigger. We hope for no shenanigans from our opponent. And I think that'll do it. Each player lose a life, draw a card. That will do it. That is going to be 2-0 from the mono black deck. Here we are now in round 3. I don't love this hand with no 2 mana cards, no 3 mana cards. It's big plays, obviously. I think I'm going to keep it anyway. We're only 1 land away from pretty much doing the whole hand because Rankle and Count Dracula both draw us extra cards. Uh-oh. Our opponent starts with a turn 1 play. That's not what we want to see here. I guess I can just Finale of Eternity on turn 3 just to kill a Crypt Breaker. But if they play another 1 toughness creature, then I'm living the dream. I'm living the actual dream if they just go 2 mana Young Pyromancer this turn. But they could also just discard a card to Crypt Breaker, get a 2/2 zombie here. And then that is pressure. That is not good for us. See what they want to choose soon enough. Got the Obscura sleeves, the big stop sign sleeves. Cease. Alright, well I guess they are gonna make a zombie here. Would I like to Finale of Eternity just to kill a Crypt Breaker? I don't think so. Especially when we know that because they're going to be making zombies, we can Finality of Eternity for 4 mana and blow up a Crypt Breaker and 2 zombies. It's definitely something that can happen later based on how they're playing right now. Discard a Sedgemoor Witch for a zombie. I guess they're trying to hit the 3 zombies to start drawing an extra card every turn, so I'm definitely going to be getting that Crypt Breaker out of here if I can. That is the alternate effect on Crypt Breaker. Tap 3 untap zombies, draw a card, lose life. Oh, just jamming in for 3, alright. Tap out for a 2 toughness card? No. No, they do not. Okay, so now I have to choose between Rankle, Count Dracula, 3 Weird Sisters, Finale of Eternity. 3 Weird Sisters again, each player sacks creature? Yeah, just not good. They've got a 2/2 to just sack. Same with Rankle. We'd end up sacking our great card for one of their just nothings. Just play Count Dracula, make a 2/3 flying lifelink. Can they crew that? They can crew a 5/5 and hit me though. Hit my Planeswalker. Don't really need card draw that bad right now. This is going to be a little risky life total wise, but let's just draw. Well, we were on the play here, so we don't know if they have another land or not. Yeah, each player can draw here. It's fine. I was going to say, if they missed a land drop, we actually don't want to let them draw another card, but I don't think they did. They did turn 1 Crypt Breaker, turn 2 Zombie, turn 3 Caravan. We were just on the play. But yeah, if we knew that they missed a land drop, then we might be tempted to just have each player discard a card there. Alright. Probably going to get hit pretty hard. Could be painful, but our Finale of Eternity, the longer this game goes on, the spicier that card is looking. It's going to be able to blow up 3 creatures with 3 toughness or less. Well, if they don't play another creature, then I might just greed myself out of this game by never popping my Finality of Eternity. Oh, Price of Fame on Rankle. Goodbye, Rankle. Now they get to Surveil 2 as well. So, we are winning this game card-wise. We've got a lot more stuff to do than them. They're at 3 cards in hand, but life total-wise, it's getting real sketchy. So, we have to consider playing really defensively and just popping Finale of Eternity. And we have the mana to pop the Finale of Eternity and still cast, like, Assemble from Parts or something. Then I get a 4/4 version of Rankle the turn after for pretty cheap. For 3 mana. 3 mana, we'd have 6 mana total, so if I draw another cheap card, I guess I could play 2 things next turn, but it's unlikely. But still, a 4/4 Rankle is definitely a thing. Are there any other ways to play it safe against this stuff? No, because the Caravan's a problem. I guess the Caravan's such a problem because even if they just play another creature, they can immediately crew the Caravan and hit me for 5 again. So maybe the safest is to just make a lifelinking blocker here?
I bring order to this broken world. I bring my own army.
So I know I can block this Caravan. Unless they just blow up my 2/3. And Count Dracula might also convince them to attack the Count instead of my face, which I would be okay with. I can lose a little bit of my my card advantage here. Oh no.
The undead make great minions. Loyal,
Dessa Liliana.
smelly, but effective.
Don't have any way to blow her up. Can hit her pretty hard with a 4/4 Rankle though. So 3 mana, exile from grave, shuffle it into library, but create a token that's a copy of it, but it's a 4/4 version. So yeah, I can spend 3 mana for a 4/4 Rankle if I want. Which means I can hit Liliana for 6 here. If I don't leave a blocker up. And if I Finale of Eternity now, they're going to draw 3 cards. And draw 4 cards because they can tap the 3 zombies to pay a life and draw a card off this Crypt Breaker. Crypt Breaker is back with a vengeance. Crypt Breaker is angry that I did not want them in my deck. Do I draw off of Dracula, or do I just get the next flyer here? To know I've got the stuff, I've got the goods. Let's decide after we see what we get with Rankle here. I think we... Does Rankle let us draw if we hit a Planeswalker? No. I guess we're getting nothing off Rankle then? Yeah, so Count Dracula's gonna die either way, because they can just send 2/2s Dracula's way. So we hit Liliana for 6 and make another lifelinker. I am no longer convinced that I have the card advantage lead, because Crypt Breaker plus Liliana is terrifying.
What's one more grudge?
Card draw wise. They draw a card whenever one of their creatures dies, and
You fight for me now.
draw a card every turn off Crypt Breaker. And if I Finale of Eternity to kill these, they're about to draw like 4 this turn. Because they draw 1 from Crypt, 3 from all the Liliana triggers. So hopefully next turn, because I have all these flyers, I can kill Liliana next turn, and then Finale of Eternity to blow up their board state. They are going to draw a couple cards in the meantime. Not wonderful. They have 8 mana thanks to Cultivator's Caravan and Letter of Acceptance here. I didn't even know Letter of Acceptance was in this cube, if I'm being honest. I haven't seen a ton of the 3 mana rocks. This Cultivator's Caravan has been beating my face, though. Seconding as a 3 mana crew for a 5/5. It's been pretty brutal. Big old beat stick. Tybalt's. Okay, so we lose. Tybalt is just one of those. There's a lot of cards like this that exist in Magic that are like 7 or 8 mana. And it's like, if you can resolve this card, you win the game, basically. And that's what Tybalt is. Even if we can immediately kill Tybalt, they've still drawn 2 very relevant cards off of Tybalt. Jadar and Lolth. And if we don't immediately somehow find 7 damage to do to Tybalt, then Tybalt's going to start exiling our creatures and cast them against us. Tybalt is just an insta-win kind of card. So our shot at victory here just went down really, really low. If Tybalt is their play for turn. We have to attack Tybalt with everybody we have to kill Tybalt here. We're about to let them draw a card here, but we kind of have to in order to preserve our life total.
They were a lousy servant anyway.
Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. We have a legendary on board. That's huge. It's actually massive, because now we can blow up Tybalt and Liliana. And what can we get back with this? Any creature, planeswalker, in a grave? Put up to 1 target creature planeswalker from grave and onto the battlefield under control, then destroy. Okay, so we can't use their Tybalt against them. But we can get our Count Dracula back. Blow up Tybalt. What a draw. What a draw.
My way. I have a wedding to
Kill Liliana. Do each player sacks a creature here? I think I'm just playing Takanuma now. I've got such high mana stuff to do. If we make each player sack a creature, they can't draw a card off Cryptbreaker next turn. Yeah, let's do that.
Ugh, looks like you're on your own now.
Don't think we do the lose life draw card or any of that, though. So they lose a 2/2 zombie here. I guess they can. Well, when does Jadar make the thing? Beginning of your end step? Dang it. I hope that's not our Jadar. I don't know if that's ours or theirs. I really hope that's not our Jadar. Little traitor.
I bring my own army.
That is our Jadar. Oh, they sacked the Cryptbreaker.
Envy the strong, for they consume the weak.
Well, then I guess we don't have to worry about them drawing extra cards off the zombies. So Lolth is down. Wolf is going to make a couple spiders, I'm guessing. Yep. Every time one of their creatures dies, Lolth gets a loyalty back. Lolth is currently at 1 loyalty. There's Jadar. Probably going to go for Finale of Eternity here. That will make Lolth 4 loyalty again, because we're going to blow up Jadar, Spider for 3 mana. And that's just such a good deal, I don't think I can not do that. 3 mana, blow up Jadar, Spider. Lolth is 4 loyalty. Wait, no, we can just kill them. What am I on about? Yeah, no, we just have lethal in the sky. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 power in the sky, and then we have Rankle's ability to have each player lose a life, draw a card. And I might as well gain some life here, unless I'm worried about 2 mana. -2, -2, or -1, -1.
Without me.
I don't think there's anything for 2 mana that could kill... And there's not a lot for 2 mana that could kill a 3 toughness creature, but not a... Or that could kill a 2 toughness creature, but not a 3 toughness creature. Okay, all that out of the way. Now we just have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage plus Rankles, 1 damage trigger if we just clear the sky here. So Finale of Eternity for 1. All the 1 toughness creatures just get out of here. Attack for 9 in the sky. And that should be game. I guess just in case I'm really bad at math, I can cast the 3 Weird Sisters first. Okay, I almost said something. It's definitely not the name. It's getting sisters and first mixed up into one word, and you definitely don't want to do that. Alright, 3-0 for the mono black deck, all thanks to the 3 Weird Fisters. Heading into round 4. They didn't actually do anything, but I just couldn't resist once that got in my head. Okay, here we go. Round something. Round 4. We're 3-0 thus far, undefeated with the mono black deck. Really fun time. Got a turn 2 Jadar here. That should be pretty cool. Jadar is really good with Lolth because our Decayed Zombie is going to keep dying every turn and just supplying Lolth with more loyalty. Opponent takes a mulligan here. That is something that is completely foreign to us with our mono black deck. Mulligans, that doesn't exist. We will always have the right mana. So here's our Jadar. We've got a ton of options on turn 5. I guess it all depends on what they play in the early turns. If they still have absolutely nothing on the board, turn 5, probably just going for Lolth. But see how things progress. White, black, and blue look to be the colors. We do need to hit a couple lands here, that is the problem. Champion of Wits is the play from our opponent. Draw 2, discard 2. If I hit a land, I'm probably going to attack with Jadar here just to make a 4/4 Jadar. I didn't hit a land though. So yeah, I don't think I attack with Jadar. We are 1 mana away from the world being our oyster. The 3 Weird Sisters will draw us an additional card, which gets us even closer to the 5th land. And if it's not the 5th land, the odds of it being a spell that costs more than 4 are astronomically low at this point with the amount of 5 drops we've drawn. Oh no! All right. As soon as we hit 1 land, we only have 3 cards left in our whole deck that cost more than 4. Okay, there's 1 land. Still somewhat in it if we can like draw into Massacre Worm quickly. Yeah, we probably have to play completely defensively here. I don't actually know if it's better to make them sack a 1/1 goblin by sacking this Decayed Zombie, or if it's better to just get our lifelinker immediately. Or if it's better to draw a card and try to hit our 5th mana. I feel like they probably have removal, especially because they dug a card out of our deck. So let's just get some value off of the 3 Weird Sisters while we know we can. Let's get rid of 1 goblin here, I guess. Make it so our Decayed Zombie actually blocks that turn, I suppose. Basically. Ephemerate Gonti. Seems powerful. We're gonna cast 3 cards out of our deck against us. Sure thing, there's a removal out of our deck. Wow, well, we found where our cards that are cheap enough to cast are. They're all getting pulled out of their Gonti. That's easy trade. Jadar is no longer really doing anything for us. Still not a land. Let's get a 4/4 Jadar then. Actually, a 4/4 Weird Sisters. Better yet. I can't transform this because it's a token, so we have to just get our sack value here. What is going on with the legendary crown in the middle of the card? I love the glitched artwork. Send in just a Gonti here? Yeah, I mean, get off my board. Clone Crafter. Brain Maggot. And even their Clone Crafter's drawing all our cheap interaction. Predetermined plays here. Just only 1 play we can do, so we roll with that. Callous Blood Mage. Their other Gonti card was also a 3-drop. They Gontied for a 2-drop and 2 3-drops. Wow, Priest of Fell Rights, we need to get rid of that or they're going to Gonti us twice more. Because they can unearth it as well. Yeah, sacrifice it, bring Gonti back, then when Gonti dies, do it all over again. If I trade into Champion of Wits, they're just going to get a 4/4 version of it and draw more cards. But I do need to draw cards here because I need land, so I'll stop 1 total damage and draw a card. There's the Massacre Worm. If we can hit our 6th land, Massacre Worm is our big out. Both for as many blockers as we can get here.
Are you enraptured by? We will slay our enemies.
Scheming Fence is now a wolf. Oh wait, no, it can't use loyalty abilities. Oh, they had a Jin-Gitaxis, they milled a Jin-Gitaxis? Jin-Gitaxis can't stop Massacre Worm, but it can survive a Massacre Worm all day long. Actually, Massacre Worm just kills them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They take more than 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. Land, 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 land. I'm gonna let those hit me so that I do more Massacre Worm damage if I hit a land. Because if I don't hit a land, I'm just dead. Question mark? That's 7 triggers. They gain 1 life, then I get 7 triggers. Massacre Worm goes. Wow, we had some really, really rough draws that game. Stuck on 3 lands, drawing a bunch of 5, 6 mana cards. I think with the sequencing of draws we got, we had no right winning that game. But that is why I am so in love with Massacre Worm, why I take that card so highly now. Is like, it just, as I have said before, it just wins games that you have absolutely zero right winning out of nowhere. Incredible stuff from Massacre Worm, turning a really rough game around just for free. We didn't need a brain that whole game. We just play what we can, survive as long as we can, and then just top deck a Massacre Worm and get there. Really shows how swingy of a game Magic can be, especially in their Chromatic Cube. That'll be 4-0 now as we head into round 5. All right, round 5, here we go. We got multiple 3-drops this time around. Let's not make that mistake again. I can definitely play stuff this game. Definitely casting multiple spells here, regardless of what we draw. We immediately draw the 4th land, and I think we're just kind of set up for life now. Playing against blue-white, probably blue-white Flicker. They played a 1-mana card with a good enter the battlefield effect. So that is what would lead me to think in that direction. Finality of Eternity might not be horrible in this matchup if they ever tap out. If they don't tap out, they could have instant speed Flicker stuff where removal can be really bad against them because they can counter a removal spell and get another enter the battlefield trigger at the same time. But if they ever tap out, they could tap out in a board state where they just have a bunch of like 2 toughness stuff, like a Soul Herder. If they tap out for a Soul Herder, that'll only have 2 toughness in their end step. Turn 4, we can just blow up all their 2 toughness cards. Definitely possible. Some Murderous Rider here. I could play a 2/3 lifelink. I can pay 2 life to kill one of their cards. I'll just wait on it and do the Swift End at instant speed, pay 2 life for it. Taking 4. We're definitely taking some damage here. Let's see what they do in their main phase 2. They do nothing. Do I want to Soul Servitude to get a 3-bit Inspector? Seems bad. I probably should have just cast my 2/3 lifelink here, because I don't really want to Swift End any of this. I guess if I Swift End Illyrios, everything they have is only 2 toughness for Finality of Eternity in the future. But I'm going really low on life, and then I'm just going to cast a Rankle. It's just not going to work well for me. Maybe I just cast Count Dracula next turn. Yeah, we'll blow up Illyrios and we'll play Dracula and get a lifelinker. Rather than just playing a Rankle we're immediately attacking with.
I am vengeance.
Alright.
You deal with this annoyance.
Hostage Taker's the play. If we hit a land, Finale's going to be big. They're going to kill Count Dracula? Yes. They're going to overkill Count Dracula, do 4 over there. Guess even if we kill Hostage Taker, we're not getting anything back, but we are clearing their board. Yeah, I'm pretty cool with that. Let's just clear their board here. Playing against Esper, blue, white, and black. Brain Maggot, but I'm the one who brain maggots. Get rid of our Liliana. Makes sense. Reverse Curse? Yep, Reverse Curse it is. Do I want to discard a card to play a Brain Maggot here? Yeah, because that'd be mana efficient. I guess we're just getting rid of this Assemble from parts and not doing that fun thing later. Oh wow, yeah, they're a flicker deck. Teleportation Circle, Elspeth Conquers Death, Banishing Light, Spark Double. It's just all interaction. All interaction, except for Spark Double, which doesn't do anything until they draw another creature. But then it does explosive things. I guess... Or I don't even know. I'm gonna have to fight through all this removal one way or another. Teleportation Circle doesn't do anything right now, so we could just let them keep that, I guess. Just get rid of... Elspeth Conquers Death, I guess. And then they might want to Banishing Light or Brain Maggot, which definitely feels bad. Yeah. Alright, yeah, that's a way to just knock out a removal spell from their hand. Now they had to Banishing Light or Brain Maggot. Now they Elspeth Conquers Death whatever we play this turn. Don't have any creatures in grave. I don't want to play Liliana until I have a creature in grave. Kind of like just playing Murderous Rider. I'm gonna go for the Rankle. I'll let them do their Conquer's Death here. This might be wrong, but I really want a 6th land for this Massacre Worm and this Liliana, and we hit the 6th land. Alright, so they can tap out for Conquer's Death, or they can do... set up their own plays here with Teleportation Circle if they drew any like cheap enter the battlefield effect creature. Start doing some nasty things. They're just going to pass turn with 5 mana up. That's got to be Spell Swindle, I guess. So we just play Murderous Rider. Rankle, have each player discard a card. No, it's going to be Nightclub Bouncer to bounce Rankle. Alright. Still... I have 7 mana, that's not enough to play Rankle and Murderous Rider. We can only play 1 card this turn no matter what. Whatever we play is going to get Conquer's Deathed. I guess we just run Rankle right back out. I'll just play the land now. Teleportation Circle, Nightclub Bouncer. Oh yeah, they can bounce it again, make it cost 6. But then we just send in with Rankle and we get it killed. We have Rankle trade into it. It's our only way to kill it, so we should probably do that. They haven't played a land in a while, so we know their hand's probably all gas as well. So we attack with Rankle. Each player sacks a creature, discards a card. You can't just let them Nightclub Bouncer for the rest of this game. And it's super fine to sack Rankle because we have Liliana Death's Majesty being able to just put Rankle right back on the board. So then when we cast Liliana's Death Majesty, we're getting 2 cards on the board that need to be dealt with. They need to kill Rankle, they need to kill Liliana, and they only have the 1 Elspeth Conquers Death. Unfortunately, that is another card to work with Teleportation Circle, so we're on the Massacre Worm plan for that. Currently, Massacre Worm does 10 damage to them, which isn't lethal, but I think we still have to do it now because we're at 11 life. Like, I could wait for lethal off this Massacre Worm, but that feels a little greedy. When I'm at 11 life facing this stuff, we don't know what they could have if they, like, do any kind of thing that anthems their field. We could die out of nowhere, so I'm just going to Massacre Worm now. Deal the 10. And then we can just pick up Rankle from grave with Liliana Death's Majesty and get a haste kill here. Cloud Blazer, they gain 2 life, up to 5. Gain 2 more, go up to 7, draw 2 more. they've been drawing hot here. They just drew 3 really good enter the battlefield effects in a row. But I think this is still lethal. I mean, I'm not sure, but
Love what they've done with the place.
I'm pretty sure.
Like an old friend.
Yeah, I mean, they block there. They take 2 from Massacre Worm. That's 1 damage off of lethal. I still do it. Put them to 1 life here, and we definitely draw the card here because now they have 1,000,000 cards in hand, so we get a lot more value off the card draw than they do. So now if they fare well to exile creatures and planeswalkers, they've got a pretty firm hold on the game. I think that's the only card I can think of. If they play like a Wrath of God, we still have a Liliana on the board to play around with. So we're still doing okay. Especially with the Yawgmoth's Vial Offering. Yeah, if they just put every creature we have into our grave, but we get to keep our Planeswalker, then we can still cast our Vial Offering to return our Rankle to the board and have our haste creature for lethal. So I don't think there's a lot that gets them out of this, and I guess they have the same opinion. They're going to scoop them up here, and we're going to be 5-0 with the mono black deck. An incredible run so far. Here we are in round 6, undefeated so far with our mono black deck. A little bit of a risky keep. We would definitely prefer more than 2 lands, but we have 2 pretty solid cards to be playing with only our 2 mana here on the play to put some pressure on our opponents, mess with their hand. I'm going to keep this. This is probably the riskiest hand I've kept so far, though. I think every other hand I've kept has been at least a 3-lander, which is definitely ideal in our deck. We did draw a 3rd land minimum. We're going to start with Jadar here. We're playing against a Lutri deck, but they've started with a Triumph, so could be 4 or 5 color deck here. Young Pyromancer is their first play. I want to make them sacrifice the Young Pyromancer. Not that worried. I mean, they're red, white, black is what we know of, so I don't feel like they're going to play 1,000,000 instants and sorceries here. So I'm going to actually play Brain Maggot, see what's in their hand. But I mean, I assume they probably don't have a lot to go with Young Pyro here. I've assumed incorrectly. They are Rakdos. The Triome is for red-black. So Kolagon's Command turn 3 here would be pretty disgusting. So we just get rid of Kolagon's Command and let them pass the torch, I guess. But then pass the torch onto Goldspan Dragon is still pretty nasty. Torben's scary, but they need triple red for that, and they only have double red. So they don't get to play Torben until after they've played Goldspan. Goldspan? Yeah, we get rid of Kolagon's Command. This is an incredible start from our opponent, though. This is a really scary stuff to see in our opponent's hand. Cannon Slew for the tapped land this turn. Go for the Pass the Torch on Brain Maggot. Next turn they have 4 mana up, but they only have double red and not triple red, which means next turn all they can really do is Kolagon's Command us. Drawn into Takanuma. Kolagon's Command does not do enough damage to kill the 3 Weird Sisters, so they seem like a pretty good play here. We'll draw a card. Draw a card off them for now. I guess we could Soul Servitude this Young Pyro because we know they're going to get at least one more 1/1. But, I mean, at this point, one more 1/1 is not that much. Oh, I have to pre-combat the 3 Weird Sisters. You play the 3 Weird Sisters pre-combat. The trigger is at the beginning of combat on your turn. Alright. I will now remember that in the future because I screamed it to the heavens. Big punt there. We've missed out on our draw 1 card here. Alright, so Cavalier of Night is the sickness. And we'll pop it off here and just kill Kells, I guess. Yeah, I think so. Should probably flip this to the Death Touch Lifelinker right now. But I'm gonna draw that frickin' card I missed out on. They're still one land away from Goldspan Dragon. If they don't hit another land here, we're doing pretty great. Yeah, they're just gonna muck up the ground. Definitely not needing to make them sack any creatures here. Liliana Plusser. Kitesail Freebooter exiles what? Non-creature, non-land card. This gets rid of Kolagon's command, but I'm not worried about Kolagon's command anymore. I'm worried about the creatures. So yeah, Kitesail doesn't do much. Soul Servitude still kills Young Pyro, but it's whatever. Start drawing cards when our Decayed Zombies die every turn. This should be pretty great.
Effective.
Liliana has 7 loyalty, so I'll have to stack up a lot of damage onto her to kill her.
I'll find a use for you.
Alright, they're going to scoop them up there. I guess they did not hit the 5th land yet again, just punished by their mana base there. Really rough draws for them. 6-0, I believe, so far. This may be my first 7-0 run in the Chromatic Cube with a monocolored deck. Here we are in what could be the final round if we win this one. This hand is basically a control deck hand here. We just have removal, removal, planeswalker, removal. I think I am going to keep it here. We are on the draw, so we could draw into some more threats to play. But it is a weird hand for sure. Definitely want to draw a creature before we play the Sap Vitality, so we get the additional +3/+0 to that creature to make that card really pop off. Well, now we have a 2-mana 3/2. Our opponent starts with a Steam Vent. It's not what I like to see. The blue-red spells decks seem really nasty when they come together well, and their mana base has come together well so far. That much is true. 2 blue-red lands in a row. And then a swamp. Okay, I'm actually very into their deck. It's okay if they win now, because now they're Nicol Bolas colors. Alright. Nothing turn 3, we're just holding up our interaction. 4th land from them, another blue source, and Sarkhan Wanderer to Shiv is the play. They can shoot our Tenacious Underdog, but then we can blitz it and kill Sarkhan, so that'd be pretty weird. I guess they conjure a Shivan Dragon to their hand is probably the play. Yep, conjure a Shivan Dragon to hand, so on turn 6 they'll have a 5/5 flyer if they want it. I'm going to go ahead and Sap Vitality here, I think. We're going to lose out on the +3/+0, but now we get to kill Sarkhan by attacking it with Underdog this turn.
My blood is boiling.
And then we make a flyer with Count Dracula.
I won't bow out graciously. No cost.
Count Dracula has pretty consistently just been our 4-mana sorcery. Create a 2/3 flying lifelink, recast this next turn, create 1 more 2/3 flying lifelink. Sack a creature or planeswalker. I'd rather deal more damage to them than gain life here. I'm going to sack the token. Oh hey, there's our own Eldest Reborn. We can Eldest Reborn against their Eldest Reborn, but let's just play a Liliana here on the empty board. Get a zombie.
You will watch me, the dead.
Draw a card. Ooh, I take 0 damage from that swamp.
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
We discard a card. There's the swamp. Well, our draws lined up really good against the Eldest Reborn there. Just like, yeah, I'll sack my token and discard a land. Okay, so there's Shivan Dragon. We can Eldest Reborn their Shivan Dragon now. But then they just get it back with their Eldest Reborn. They get Sarkhan or Shivan Dragon back are the best options. I guess I can get their Sarkhan. If I do Yawgmoth's Vile Offering instead of Eldest Reborn? Sure. Let's get their Sarkhan, and then they just get their dragon back.
I bask in the glory of dragons.
Get more tokens.
You.
Death is ever.
Liliana only returns things from our graveyard, not opponent's graveyard. So we can't steal their Shivan Dragon with that. Well, we can conjure our own with our brand new Sarkhan here. Eldest Reborn, basically Shivan Dragon or Murderous Rider are their two targets here. So Shivan Dragon it is. It's going to be hard for us to cast Shivan Dragon in a mono black deck, but we can do the other +1 on Sarkhan to make it so all our Shivan Dragons cost X mana instead of double red mana. Big Meat Hook Massacre here. That's going to gain them a lot of life, keep them in the game a little while longer, but I'm still feeling really good having 3 Planeswalkers on the board. We just blow up this Shivan Dragon and keep ticking up our Planeswalkers. I guess I can get back a Murderous Rider, but I'd rather uptick this Liliana again.
Are you done yet?
See what we draw off of Count Dracula, land, easy reveal.
Blood for
Let's get another Shivan Dragon to hand.
Great predator descends.
And then we will blow up their Shivan Dragon with Eldest Reborn. Alright. Pass turn. They have 2 cards in hand. We have 3 Planeswalkers out and 4 cards in hand. However, if they get rid of Sarkhan, we're basically just have 2 cards in hand because these Shivan Dragons are uncastable until we use Sarkhan's other +1. So we're being a little greedy here trying to stack up on Shivan Dragons before I do the cost reduction part of Sarkhan. Can assemble from parts. What am I going to want to assemble from parts here? Probably the Lifelinker, so I can play a 4/4 Lifelinker from Grave. There's a Gonti, sure. Gonti's cool. Just have Liliana destroy all non-zombies next turn, probably. So we can hit in for 2 at least. And then plop out a Dargon. Okay. Going to my turn. Assemble a big Murderous Rider, I think. Make them discard their 1 card in hand, which was Finale of Eternity. Great discard there. Now I'm going to stop getting greedy with this, and I'm going to make my dragons castable.
Come to me.
Now I can cast them for X instead of their mana value, so I can spend 5. And then destroy all non-zombies.
I'll bring you back as my minion.
And then draw another card. Another land. Count Dracula is just unstoppable.
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
I'm just gonna... I could play a Shivan Dragon here, but I'm just gonna not stop playing Planeswalkers.
By my aid, I will get what I want.
Super villains the deck. Mono black super friends. There's Champion of Wits. Cannot blow that up with a Soul Servitude, so we actually don't have removal for that right now. I do need to worry about milling myself out with my Liliana. Ooh, 3 Weird Sisters can kill that. I think I just want a Shivan Dragon, but Gonti's fun too. I'm just gonna take a Shivan Dragon. Yeah, so we play 3 Weird Sisters. Make dragons cheaper. Get another flyer. Draw a card.
fight for me.
I always reward.
Get another zombie. Still doing fine on cards and deck.
Look what I found.
Then we play a Shivan. We go to combat. Each player sacks a creature. We sack one of our summoning sick creatures. So the new zombie. Get a loyalty on the Spider Queen. Attack all.
Power is for annihilation.
And there's the concession from our opponent. This draft is going to be our very first 7-0 draft in the Chromatic Cube, and it's going to happen with a monocolored deck. So the big lesson of the day, the big learning point for this draft video is disregard the rules. Do what you want. Chromatic Cube, got all this multicolor fun splashy stuff? No, draft mono black. Draft the mono-colored deck. Yeah, I mean, we just started the draft with some pretty powerful black cards, speculated between Rakdos and Orzhov if we wanted to go black-red or black-white, because we got that late Restoration of Agonjo, and we got that early Fable of the Mirror Breaker trying to maybe go into Rakdos, but just turns out, just tons of really, really powerful black cards getting passed to us all the time, so it was like, yeah, we'll just prioritize the black cards number 1, because those cards can go into our black-red or black-white deck. And then that ended up happening often enough that we just got enough black cards to stick to mono black, make it so our mana base was really, really simple. The only thing that matters is if we draw enough lands. We're never going to be stuck off of a certain color or anything. So that definitely helped the deck be a really, really consistent mono black mid-rangey control-y deck here with a ton of planeswalkers to really take over the game. Some incredible stuff from the deck. Pretty much every single card in the deck got to show up once or twice, did its job, put in some good work, and yeah, super happy with everything here. So that is going to end today's draft. As we look at our prizes, I'll start saying the outro here, but all right, not the greatest prizes ever, but 6,000 gold, always great. So that is going to end today's draft. As always, if you'd like to see some more of these videos, you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe to let the YouTube algorithm know to send you some more of these videos in your recommended feeds. But other than that, once again, as always, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you again soon for some more Magic Arena. We've got one more day of Chromatic Cube draft, and then we have the early access event for the Baldur's Gate draft format on the 5th. So very much looking forward to that. That should be very exciting. So cool stuff on the horizon, and I'll see you all soon for that